Do you ever feel like you're just playing a part, even with the people you're closest to? Like no matter how many friends you have, you still feel completely misunderstood. If you do, you're not alone. That feeling of being emotionally disconnected, even when you're in a room full of people, is a real problem. In fact, loneliness is a widespread public health crisis. What if you could finally drop the mask? This video will show you how embracing who you really are can turn shallow interactions into the deep, meaningful connections you've been craving. This isn't about changing who you are, it's about finally having the courage to be who you are. Many people fall into the trap of becoming the easygoing friend. You might know the type: always agreeable, never makes a fuss, just fits in anywhere. It can seem like a secret to being liked, but the truth is, this often leads to feeling like a ghost. People find themselves at parties, dinners, and get togethers surrounded by others, but feeling completely and utterly alone. This happens when you become a collection of personality traits borrowed from others, a carefully built mask worn to be as likable and inoffensive as possible. The breaking point often comes in a quiet moment of reflection, like after a social event. An overwhelming sense of emptiness can hit. You might realize you've spent an entire night laughing, nodding, and agreeing with everyone, but not once did you share what you actually thought or felt. No one in the room really knows you because you've never let them. It's in these moments the realization dawns. The performance isn't building connections, it's building a wall. The very thing you might be afraid of, being judged and left out, is happening anyway because of the fear of being real. The journey to tearing down those walls can be uncomfortable and even a little scary, but it leads to a huge realization. Real connection isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. And it all boils down to three keys. The first one is self awareness. You can't show people your authentic self if you don't even know who that is. Authenticity starts with getting clear on your own values, passions, and fears. It's about knowing what truly matters to you, away from anyone else's expectations. A really practical way to start is with journaling. At the end of each day, just ask yourself, when did I feel most like me today? And when did I feel like I was performing? This simple act builds the self-trust needed to be confident. The second key is calculated vulnerability. The word vulnerability can sound terrifying. This doesn't mean you have to spill your deepest secrets to everyone you meet. It means having the courage to be imperfect and sharing parts of your true self, step by step. Start small. Share a real opinion with a coworker you trust. Tell a friend how you're actually doing instead of just saying, I'm fine. Every small act of honesty builds the muscle for deeper connections. And if you're finding this helpful and want to keep learning how to build stronger, more genuine relationships, take a second to subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next. The third and final key is empathetic listening. Authenticity isn't a one-way street. To build real connections, you have to create a space where others feel safe enough to be authentic too. That means listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. When someone is speaking, are you really hearing them, or are you just planning your response? When you practice active listening, where you reflect what they're saying, you show them that they are seen, heard, and valued. And that feeling is the very soul of connection. As you start putting these three keys into practice, your world can slowly start to change. It won't happen overnight, and it definitely won't always be easy. Some friendships, the ones that were built on the fragile foundation of a mask, might just fade away. And that's okay, because the relationships that are left and the new ones that are built will be based on something real. They will be built on trust and mutual respect. The conversations will get deeper. The laughter will feel more real. For the first time, you may feel the freedom that comes with dropping that heavy weight of pretending. Instead of feeling totally drained by social events, you may start feeling energized by them. And that's the real reward of authenticity, finding relationships that don't drain you, but actually fill you up. We know that social isolation can be incredibly damaging to our health. Building genuine connections isn't just a nice to have, it's a necessity. The key isn't to be more popular or even more liked. The key is to be more you. Authenticity is simply the daily practice of letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you really are. It's having the courage to be seen in all your imperfect, struggling, and beautiful humanity, because that is where true connection lives. What's one small step you can take this week to be more authentic?